Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we're here for episode number 46 of Goattville building. And here we are inside the theater, doing a lot of interior work recently off camera, a lot of busy work, just so I don't have to do any of that on camera. Hopefully we can do something a little bit more interesting today, working on like the backstage area, but I've done some updates since the last episode, so let's just go over some of those. I've actually done quite a lot of stuff. First thing is I took out these front doors because I was tired of going in and out, having to go through them. So I felt like I'll just leave them open, give it a bit more of a more grand feel just by not having the doors there. So just those ones I have decided to take down. But the first thing I did was I did some little work here to the front on the exterior. First thing was I added some lights here to the front. So these are just some basic city details. And I have a couple other lights that make their way around here by the fountains. But I also added the light blocks to the other half of the building here, and I also spread them out here across the fountains. So if we take a look how the world's going to look at night, let's quickly put time set night. I think all I need to do is achieve midnight. Let's make it. There we go. And here's how it looks at night. It's actually quite pretty. The way it lights up. I probably should do some work on the skyscrapers because they look kind of dull. The theater just really stands out with just how lit up it is. It looks a bit, someone could say, it looks a bit unnatural the way just how perfectly and evenly it's lit. But I think it works quite nice and it kind of makes sense. If you have a building like this, probably the prettiest one in the city, you're going to want it to be lit up, as much as possible. I did put some lighting on the fountains. I probably should put some more around, some of the other parts of the water where it's a bit darker, but I made sure I put plenty of light blocks there to make sure those were illuminated. And yeah, this is how it looks at night. It's quite, it's quite the sight. I'm really glad with the way it turned out. So that's pretty good. And also the little resource pack I'm using makes the night sky look a whole lot more interesting. Some of the little streaks of what I guess is the northern lights, they're a bit extra, but it still looks nice. And I also did some work here on the side. I just brought it around halfway down, so that's how it will look from the side. Maybe it looks a little bit more unnatural from there because I don't know how much the side would be illuminated, but I still think it looks pretty good. And maybe if I put some more light blocks scattered around the city when I'm doing some more city details, it'll look a bit natural. But I don't usually keep the city in night mode. Let's turn it back to day. There we go. And now let's go to the inside. This is where I did the majority of the work. First thing is I've been mostly focusing on mirroring whatever I built on this side over here to the other side. And it's been a little bit of a challenge trying to get everything as close as I can. But over here we had this little room right here and these little formal stairs which lead up to this little area. And then of course I have all the hallways and stuff all the way up to about this point right here. It goes about a third of the way down, except for I guess that floor right there, the second and the fourth floor too. But yeah, I just have a lot of the front end stuff done on this side, and I've been working on making it the same over here on I guess, what is this? This would be the south side, I think. So yeah, I've been mostly just working on this and go inside. How do we get inside from this point? Let's go in here. So yeah, I've just mostly been working on like adding in these hallways right here towards the front and lighting them up with the ceiling lights. I put in here the little necessary stairs that we have to have, as well as a little elevator right next to it. And just a lot of basic hallway stuff that I've been doing. But I also do have the little these little open spaces with a little staircase right here, so it's pretty close to the other side. I still need to do the furnishing here on this level, but it's pretty much the same, as close as I could make it. I didn't worry too much about making it exact because who would notice, but I made it generally close, so it's pretty much the same, pretty much mirrored. And then I also did, I think this is the final bit of work I did, the second floor access to the auditorium. I just put this little side staircase right here because originally there was just this first staircase right here, but I felt like it was a little bit hard to access, and it kind of was very narrow and cramped, and it was right here in the middle of this hallway, so if you wanted to get to it, you had to go up those stairs and then all the way down this part of the hallway. But I just put 2 little doors here on the side, so that way you just have to go in here, and it leads you right up to the top. And then because of that, I had to put in this little hallway right here so I can get to the different parts of the aisles, but I only had to sacrifice 2 rows of seats, and I'm not too worried about seat count, so it was a pretty easy fix. Do need to work on some lighting in here. I would like to get back to work on the auditorium, but there's just a lot of extra stuff to the builds that I already have, that I already am focusing on. So anyway, what are we going to get to today? Today I was going to do some backstage work, because we've kind of done plenty of work here towards the front. So let's follow this way down here. And I've also been working on this hallway on the other side. So that way we're going to do some music stuff on the other side. While that side is more of the drama and the play stuff. Over here we're going to have some music stuff. And this hallway, I was going to mostly fill it with practice rooms and stuff like that. And then the farther you get down here, it will turn into more storage and stuff like that, and more proper backstage stuff. I also have some offices and other rooms planned. But mostly we're just going to work on some of the basic layout, trying to get some of this stuff done. Just planning out some of the backstage area, because this, I think, will be quite an interesting chapter of this build. So I think I'm going to just quickly lay out how the hallways are going to look right here. There's going to be a little big hallway right here, and that will lead to different rooms. In which room? I think I'm going to work on this room. This is going to be the scene construction rooms, and I think that'll be kind of fun to work on. So yeah, I'll just go build the floors, the walls, and then we can get started on this room when I get back. And here is what a basic view of the backstage area is going to look like. It looks a little bit boring now, but that's just because, I haven't done too much. It's pretty simple, and I tried to keep it somewhat similar towards, the front area. So we kind of have a similar color scheme going on, but I also wanted to, make it look a bit more industrial, so we have a bit more smooth colors and, some basic lighting going on. And of course, it's going to look a whole lot more detailed once we put the doors into the other rooms and put in some extra clutter to make it look like a true backstage area. These are just the hallways that lead to the different areas. And this is just a little demo area that I made. I didn't bother with, all the flooring and the ceiling for the entirety of it. But one thing I did do was, originally the hallways were planned to be only 4 blocks wide, and I started building it, and I realized that is way too thin, so I brought them out to 6 blocks wide. So it's going to cut back a little bit on the room size, but only by 1 block, so I figured it's not too much of a problem. And I set up a little bit of the scene construction room right here. And I just threw down the basic walls and stuff like that. So this is kind of, what's kind of going to look like. Of course, it's not completely done, but it is going to be 2 floors tall. You can see that's the type of roof we're going to have. The walls are pretty basic, and it kind of just looks, as you would expect some sort of construction area to look like. We got a couple doors over here. Those would be the main doors. We got a set of side doors right here. And then we have this thing that's supposed to be a big gate for some of the larger pieces. And there's this lever here that, of course, doesn't work, in this door, which actually doesn't work. It just, just a bunch of small panels. But, it's your imagination that matters. I couldn't figure out a way to make some sort of complicated redstone door that just wouldn't be necessary. And I did realize that it would be really awkward if they were trying to make some massive set piece and they were trying to squeeze it through that door and then through this hallway and then trying to put it through this bend to get it to here. But I figured if they're going to be building some large piece that can't be moved through the hallways, they probably would just build it over here towards where the stage is. But I did consider having some space on the second floor, this big open space where there'd be some crane that could somehow transfer the pieces over. But I figured that's an interesting idea, and maybe I'll put some small version of that up here if I, feel like I have the space for it. But, I guess those would just be for more smaller pieces of, stuff. And since I don't have much time left to make this video, I am just going to sort of go through and add in some basic details. I got some some random blocks right here that we'll just start throwing down. We got a couple cauldrons and those composters, yeah. So we just got a couple barrels there. We'll put some more over on this side, why not? Get a couple of them there. Say we stack them up a bit. Put some like that. We got a couple of chests. Where should we put the chests? We're going to put the chest over here in this back corner. Just throw them right there. Maybe make them a bit disorganized. Put a couple single chests in. There we go. We don't have to go too crazy with the details. I'll put more in later. We got some barrels too. How could I forget that? We'll just put some of the barrels maybe over here. Like that. Oh, we gotta make a tower of them, of course. Oh, I answered that. There we go. There's our small tower of barrels right here. We'll put one on top. Lovely. And then we're gonna make... Wait, I got a couple beehives stacked as like some strange boxes. Let's put those there. Put a couple over here. Just make it look all cluttered. Put a couple over here in the back corner. Like that. And I had to keep opening the chests. There we go. And now we're gonna make like a bit of a larger set piece. We'll make it sort of like this I guess this house setup. I don't know. Don't want to make it too big, of course, because this isn't the large area for the construction. So let's just put a couple pieces like that. We'll make it a bit wide, like that. We'll put a couple holes in here. They're supposed to be like windows, I guess. Small little windows. Put a couple fences here on the side. Maybe this is just how they move it around. And we got some scaffolding. I think I was just going to throw that around there. But what we could do is actually, let's put the fences back here on this side, on the back. So those will be like the little supports holding it up. And then up here on the front, we'll put, it's going to look weird, but we'll put like some bricks and stuff like that. And we'll pretend they're like, you know, synthetic bricks, of course, because trying to haul this around would be quite the challenge. So put that there. Basically just recreate it here on the front with some bricks. Actually, let's get some, you know, some nether bricks and put that on the bottom row right here. Just add some extra color. And then we'll get the brick stairs to just cover up the wood right there on the front. Like that. There we go. And we'll put a little roof on it. Why not? So let's get some polished andesite. And we'll put that on there for the roof. Put this right here just so it looks a bit normal. Here we go. We should probably get some... don't know why that happened. And we'll get some slabs just to put it on top. Make it look a little bit nicer. Here's the slabs. Right there. Why not put a little chimney? Why not? I'm just going to make this small little house as detailed as possible. There we go. What would we make the chimney out of? We'll make it out of cobblestone. I'll put a little... flower pot on top of it to look like something. There we go. Got ourselves a little chimney. And actually, you know what? Let's put a little windowsill right here. Actually, we got to put it there. We'll put a real... Oh wait, I can't put the flower pot there. I guess it has to be a slab of something. Make it a slab of spruce wood. There we go. There we go. And let's get some random plant. Any plant at all. Make it a dark oak sapling. And there we go. That's our little set piece that we created right there. Nothing too special, but we'll throw in a couple extra of these around here. You suppose that could fit through that door? Maybe if you like bend it the right way, maybe you'll get through, but there we go. We'll put a couple more of those through there. I feel like it's quite a nice room that we have right there. And maybe we'll have like some extra shelves and stuff like that towards the top. We'll have some like ladders going up to be able to access them. And I'll finish off the rest of this room, hopefully, because I don't think it would take that much more time. And then over here, I was going to put a wardrobe, you know, big place to store all the clothes. And then here was going to be a rehearsal room. So I'll probably get to those two as well. And hopefully we can add some more detail here to the backstage area. If I can just like get this half done right up to here. We can see how it looks in the next episode. Hopefully it looks, you know, a little bit more interesting than it does now. But anyway, aside from that, probably continue working on the theater for a while. But hopefully we can shift around different parts of it so it stays a little bit a bit interesting. In the next episode, what should I do in the next one? I'll probably start working maybe something on the auditorium. We do have some final details up here towards the top, which I haven't added in yet, so maybe we'll start working on that. But you know, it's a mystery. Who knows? It depends on how much work I've done by the time the next episode comes out. But anyway, I want to thank you if you made it this far. I want to thank you particularly for watching. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video, next weekly video. I finally managed to get back to some weekly uploads. So yeah, well, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!